and welcome back to another edition of the Lowcountry Sports Report. And as always, I am joined by Justin Jarrett. Justin, welcome back. We missed you last week, man.
Yeah, good to be back in the studio. Had a busy week last week and couldn't get in here, but a lot of stuff going on. You guys did a great job holding down the fort.
Yeah,
great job by Matt Watts. Keeping everybody up to date on all the local sports news.
So, Justin, very busy week of local sports last week. Let's start off weightlifting.
Yeah, maybe something that isn't on everybody's radar all the time, but of course we do have a world-class weightlifter here that everybody knows about in CJ Cummings. Well, we got another world-class weightlifter right here in Beaufort, Dade Stanley, and he's kind of come up in CJ's shadow a little bit, but he's definitely making a name for himself. Swept silver medals in all three categories, the clean and jerk, the snatch, and the overall at the Youth World Championships, IWF Youth World Championships in Las Vegas. Representing Team USA, which is amazing for a guy from little old Beaufort. We've got two of them now on the world stage, so pretty incredible to see what those guys are doing, and great for Dade. He's trying to make a name for himself, and kind of he's come up under CJ's tutelage, and they're great friends, and he's been a great mentor to him. But it's great to see him kind of start to get some recognition for himself.
For sure. Maybe people don't realize how high class of athletes those guys are. I mean, they are competing against some of the best in the whole country. They are unbelievable.
Yeah, and the amount of time that they put into it. I mean, the training, it's not just brute strength. Obviously, they're very strong, but it's about honing the craft and really working hard at the technique and making sure that they're doing it the right way. Coach Ray Jones is the coach who leads up Team Beaufort, and has tutelage under his tutelage that those guys have learned how to do it. And he's been coaching tremendous weightlifters for years and years, so it's really a testament to what he does over there.
Now let's shift over to soccer. We had a big rivalry game, May River and Bluffton High School. What happened?
Yeah, they're calling it the Bluffton Derby now. Trying to take something from across the pond, but not much of a rivalry this year. May River just dominated. The Sharks won it 6-0. They've really turned the tide in that rivalry since the first playing 2 years ago. They lost, I think, 6-1, and then they win 6-0 this year. They've got a really strong team. Misa Garzon doing a great job there. They got Joel Fleek is tremendous up top, as well as Connor Golden, Mikey Chapelier. Maybe his name doesn't come up as much as it used to, but he's in the midfield, doing work for them. And they've got a young goalkeeper, so they're kind of trying to figure that out. But if they can bring him along a little bit, the defensive line's really good. They could have a pretty special year.
Yeah, that's definitely. I love watching those guys. They're very aggressive. They're really good. They're just an entertaining group. But now let's talk. Let's go to the fields. Let's talk baseball.
All right, a little bit of baseball. We got a big series going on this week. So by the time we start to air, a couple of those games will be in the can. But Beaufort High and Hilton Head High, big Region 7 4A series. I like the way they have their region set up. They play a 3-game series Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So Monday and Friday would be at Hilton Head High, and Wednesday at Beaufort. So those are going to be some good games. Beaufort High undefeated right now, looking really good so far. They lost a couple preseason games, but then they went undefeated in the Bluffton tournament, and they're off to a great start in regular season play. So they're looking really good, but Hilton Head High's got a strong squad too, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Absolutely. And now to softball, we've also had some pretty big softball matches.
Yeah, we do. We've had a bunch of kind of mismatches the past couple of weeks. Had a lot of no-hitters and perfect games and stuff like that. Thomas Hayward spoiled Beaufort Academy's debut. I know you enjoyed getting to talk to the BA girls.
That was amazing. One thing I never would have thought I'd go to is a practice where they're teaching them how to play the sport. I mean, it was just really good group of kids, really nice coach. Really good people over there.
Yeah, and they have to be pretty happy about the way that went, actually. They lost 14-4, but Thomas Hayward's a really strong squad. So, to be able to put some runs on the board and, and hang with them for a few innings is a testament to the job they're doing to build a foundation there. And looking ahead to this week, we've got some big softball because May River and Battery Creek are going to go head-to-head this week in big region play. It's crazy. We're only in the third week of March, and that's pretty much going to decide the region championship, most likely, that head-to-head matchup this week. So Battery Creek had a great season last year. They've struggled early, but they've played really tough competition, so they'll be ready for the battle against May River, and that should be a couple of good games.
Yeah, I love this time of the year, JJ. I mean, you get to go to schools that have baseball and softball going on at the same time, so you can watch a couple innings here, go watch a couple innings there. Probably makes your life a little miserable.
There's a lot of action going on. I mean, I'm getting some nights 20 to 25 recaps, from coaches that I'm having to write up for the website. So there's a lot of content churn at lowcosports.com, and hopefully folks are popping over to the website to keep up with all that's going on, follow along with their favorite teams, and of course catch the newest episode of Lowcountry Sports
Everyone's
Report.
favorite television show, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But all right, JJ, we're done for this segment. We're going to take a quick little break, and then Matt Watts is going to come to the show, and we're going to talk some Beaufort County Park and Rec sports. You're watching the Lowcountry Sports Report.
Series. There's a smash to right field. That ball is way back. Gone. Nico Lang. So Beaufort County home run shot over the right field.
And welcome back to the Lowcountry Sports Report. I am now joined with Matt Watts. Matt, what's going on, man?
Not much. Just getting ready for another week of full of sports and, the citizens and everything coming to our facilities. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. So, big week for Park and Rec sports, especially when it comes to baseball and softball. Last weekend, lots of baseball and softball games. I'm sure that kept you really busy.
Yeah, Bluffton Youth Sports, so baseball and softball and for the youth over there in Bluffton. Great time, great opening day for everybody. We have, upwards of 800 kids out there at one time, So it was great getting that season kicked off this past weekend. We had, at one time we had, 5 games going on 5 different fields. So it's really good to get that stuff going this past weekend.
Yeah, I actually went out, I think it was the Friday night. I got some great footage that you guys are watching right now. Mm-hmm. But it was amazing because I could literally go from this game to this game to this game.
Right.
Is that something that will happen every week? I mean, bunch of games going on at the same time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, basically Monday through Thursday, we'll have 3 games going on.
Oh, wow.
At Oscar Frazier, we have 3 fields, so we'll have games going on every field at Oscar Frazier. And then we usually have at least 1 game, maybe 2 games going on at MC Riley Park as well. So if you come Monday through Thursday, you'll catch that about every single night.
So about 4 days a week, there'll be games going on at Oscar Frazier?
Right, and we also play a few of our games on Saturday too, but not as many on Saturday.
Right. And now let's talk about the competition level in tournaments and like these games. Are there some really good players out there?
No, absolutely. I mean, Bluffton has always been known for their youth baseball, and softball has been pretty good the last few years as well. So I'm sure when All-Star season comes around, we'll really see the teams. When you get to be able to hone in on the few players that get to make All-Stars, you'll see the competition out there.
Doing it like this when you have a bunch of games going on, it's a great way for you to know the players and get to see the talent. Probably makes your job a little easier picking all-star teams.
No, absolutely, and our volunteers do a phenomenal job with the volunteer board with Bluffton Youth Sports, along with all our coaches out there that are volunteering. So they definitely make it easy, and they're definitely the ones that really get more input on the all-star process.
Awesome. Now, can you preview a little bit of some other spring sports? What has been going on, or what's about to happen?
Right. Youth lacrosse has been, their season and practice has been going on for a while.
Nice.
The younger age groups, the 8U and 10U, actually, they'll have their first games this coming up weekend. So looking forward to that. Those games will be at Bluffton Center on the 23rd if anybody wants to come out. And then youth soccer and youth flag football will get going over in Bluffton and Beaufort here in the next few weeks. I think April 22nd is the opening day for those.
Awesome. That's awesome. But now let's go to your beautiful facility in Buckwalter. And one thing I want to do every week is highlight a different aspect of something you guys have to offer the public. And this week, I want to talk about the running track. I was there last week and I got some footage of it. It is beautiful.
It is.
It's amazing. It seems like it's really light and soft on your feet when you're running on it, so it doesn't seem like your knees will take that big of an impact.
Oh, absolutely.
How's the public been liking it?
They really do. I mean, with the flooring, like you said, the Mondo floor that we have on there, it's a lot better for people with, especially seniors or older adults have issues with their joints or knee pain. Really helps out rather than running on concrete. But yeah, people love our track, especially we have the tenth of a mile, 10 laps is 1 mile up there on the track. But also we have some cardio equipment, but We have ellipticals, treadmills, stationary bikes. So those people love going up there, and instead of sometimes when it's raining or too cold or even too hot outside, they can take care of that inside on our track.
Absolutely. So what are some rules associated with the track? Because as you said, there's different types of people who go, so different athletic abilities. So for example, if a person wants to go and just walk, could a younger person that wants to sprint on the track at the same time?
No, absolutely. We do have an age cutoff just because of some of the younger kids that come up there. They want to play around more than the people who want to get up there and actually get some exercise. So no one under the age of 14 is allowed on the track without supervision. Now, if a parent has their child and they want to go up the track, we do allow, but they have to be supervised. But yeah, we have mothers that take their babies up there on their baby carts or whatever, strollers or whatever, and roll them around there. And then we have some adults that go up there, serious runners that'll just do sprints and long distances. Yeah.
And that is something that's included with your membership to the facility? Oh,
absolutely, yeah. Any membership, be it just a single membership, a family membership, any senior memberships, all includes the track.
Awesome. Matt, we really need to have a race one day, maybe like a Beaufort County race, and you get different county employees racing.
Yeah, I'll watch that one. I don't know if
you ain't going to take part in it? You're not going to win it?
Nah, I think my good days are behind me.
I think our executive producer, Scott Grooms, would probably win it, honestly.
Scott might do
It's
pretty
a fast
well.
dude, yeah. But, oh man, that's funny. But all right, that's going to be it for you for this week. Matt, thank you so much for coming on as always, man.
Absolutely.
But we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to be doing some Sand Shark Bites. And welcome back to another edition of Sand Shark Bites. Little different looking Sand Shark Bites this week. Jody Vermilia, unfortunately unable to join us. So I'm going to take this thing by the horns and do a solo edition for you guys. We're going to start off USCB baseball. Big conference matchup at USCB last weekend. Warner came to town. Series didn't go the way the Sand Sharks wanted to. Unfortunately, they did lose the three-game series. However, big positive point for the boys in Game 3. They were down by a score of 10-1 going in the bottom of the 8th. Lost 10-8. They scored 7 runs at bottom of the 8th, and that's something that was huge. Shows that they're tough, shows resiliency, shows tenacity. And, that's one thing that Coach Bam and his coaching staff really preaches to his boys. So that was something that really stuck out. Then a couple days later, they traveled to Middle Georgia, very tough team that they play. And they won one of the two, so a really big bright spot for them there. All season, they've had players who have become really good, who have had really bright spots, and one of those guys is a kid named Bobby Wenthy. A couple weeks ago, Jody and I informed you guys that he is the all-time leader for home runs at USCB. And I had the opportunity to go to practice a couple days ago, and I caught up with Bobby, and I asked him his thoughts of becoming the home run king, and he's a senior now. I asked him, what does it mean to be a senior? And Bobby, one of those guys that I've been able to be friends with for a couple years now, a really good guy. And we're going to take a trip over to Sand Shark practice. We're going to catch up with Mr. Bobby Wenthy.
It's a great honor. It's a great school to play for. And, I hope someone else breaks my record, but not too soon. Having runners on base, it's a big thing. It helps my confidence whenever I produce for my team, get some RBIs. So yeah, it's a big confidence booster whenever I can do that. It gets me on a roll. Coaches have been really supportive of my role. They know that I'm a RBI guy, home run hitter in their eyes. But yeah, they've been really supportive. Letting me not so much giving me stuff when I'm struggling. They just they have their full belief in me, so I really appreciate that. For baseball, it's finish strong, ride out the rest of my career, because after this I don't know if I'm going to be continuing to play baseball, but I got big things ahead of me when it comes to my career in hospitality, so I'm looking forward to that. But baseball wise, I'm just trying to enjoy the rest of my time I have with it. A lot of things have happened over the last 3 years here, and I've grown as a person from it, and it just is a nice reminder to always stay humble. And there's a lot of things I'm going to miss. But honestly, the thing I'm going to probably miss the most is the big support base I have throughout my friends here at USCB that I've made. They've been with me every step of the way from my first year, to support me last year, and again, having my back this year whenever I'm a senior. So yeah, I'm going to miss the support of the fans.
And welcome back to Sandshark Bite. It's Bobby Wenthy, definitely going to be a Sandshark player that I'm going to miss, and I think everybody in the Sandshark family is going to miss. But now, let's go over to the golf team. Both of them have been really busy lately. I mean, it seems like they play tournaments all the time. All they do is golf. But men, being very successful this season. They finished second at the Point Skyhawk tournament. Jack Faraci and Mark Sweeney both finished tied second for the entire tournament. Jack Faraci's been a kid who's really broke out last year, transferred here last year, and has made an impact right away. And, he really is turning into one of the true leaders on the team. And then one of my really good buddies, Mr. Mark Sweeney, Canadian boy, he's been on the team now. This is his third year. And first couple seasons, he's cracked the starting five. He's been good, but it's been a little bit up and down for Mark. And I really thought going into this season, this is going to be the year that Sweeney really breaks out and establishes himself as a true role player on the team. And he is doing just that. He always finds himself in the upper echelon of the tournament and results, and just putting up great numbers and, making it really look easy. So now let's switch over to the women. The women were part of the Lowcountry Intercollegiate Tournament, which was in Hilton Head, and they finished tied 10th as a team. However, tied third for the whole tournament was Vanessa Schlew. Blanca Porta tied 24th, and this is another team who's been really good. They've been able to be consistently good for a couple years now. And, these two players, Vanessa Schlew, Blanca Porta, they always seem to put up really good numbers. And one thing I love about the team is everybody on this team has each other's backs. They're all really good friends with each other. They all hang out. They really enjoy each other's company. And that whole camaraderie and team chemistry really shows. And I credit that to their success. Now, lastly, let's touch upon the softball team. So softball had a very difficult weekend. They played two top conference teams in Ave Maria and St. Thomas, and they split the weekend. They won one of the two against Ave. They won one of the two against St. Thomas. However, the games they did win were all shutouts. Ave Maria, they won 5-0. St. Thomas, they won 14-0, and you can thank that to Miss Sloan Ducey, freshman pitcher, making a huge impact. She has been phenomenal. I mean, the pitching was already amazing going into the season with girls like Abby Pack and Maria and Cannon Crosby. And now to add Sloan in there, and she's playing really well, is incredible, because Coach Bailey Wigness is going to be able to have her for a couple more years and really launch the program with her and really keep going and keep doing what she's been doing. Going back to Bailey now, she's done an incredible job. Every episode I talk about how good she's been, and she's really turned this program around. And I mean, they were pretty good for the past couple years, but to me it seems like they're on a whole new level now, and I'm really looking forward to what is going to happen in the future. And that's going to do it for this week, but stick around. When we come back, we're going to be right here with the Lowcountry Sports Report. And welcome back to the Lowcountry Sports Report. JJ, where has the time went? This episode is flying by. But before we leave, we got some tennis to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Tennis is getting going really good right now. The Hilton Head teams are looking strong as usual, especially Hilton Head Prep and Hilton Head High School. Hilton Head High and Beaufort had a doozy of a match in their first matchup of region play, with the Seahawks coming out with a 4-3 win. Won a couple of those matches in tiebreakers, so pretty evenly matched. It'll be interesting when they play the rematch. They'll play again, of course, and see if the Eagles can maybe steal one and salvage a split. But a really good matchup there, cross-county rivalry that has become pretty good.
We really have some great tennis action in Beaufort County, don't we? Don't we have some schools who've won state championships in the past here?
Yeah, of course. Hilton Head High is always right there in the mix. Hilton Head Prep and Christian Academy used to be strong there, a little bit down right now, and Prep has kind of taken the upper hand. Beaufort Academy is strong in Skeeza 1A, but yeah, I mean, you think of Hilton Head and Beaufort County as a big golf mecca, but it's also a great place for tennis as well. So we've got all the academies down in Hilton Head where a lot of the players train,
That's awesome, yeah.
and so that brings in a lot of great players.
Now let's go to another sport. Let's go to track and field.
Yeah, you talked about Sam Gilman last week.
He's a stud,
with
man.
an incredible
He's
performance. He had another strong performance in the relays at the Mellow Mushroom Relays this weekend for Hilton Head High. They got second in the distance medley relay. Beaufort High's boys are killing it, picking up where they left off with last year's state championship. They won a team title last weekend, and then this past weekend they didn't have team scores at this one, but they had a really strong showing again. They are just absolutely loaded with talent. And May River is looking pretty strong as well. Their relays did very well at Mellow Mushroom. So we got a lot of talent, and we've got a couple of great meets coming up. If any local track and field fans want to get out and see some of the local athletes, Whale Branch will be hosting one on March 23rd, a big meet. And then May River is going to host a huge meet on March 30th. Over in Bluffton, so there's going to be, I think most of the local teams will be out there as well as teams from all over the region, so it's going to be a really great track and field action.
Absolutely. I really think a sport like track kind of goes under the radar a little bit. I mean, not too many people, I think, really understand it, but there's so many really cool events with it. It's so entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you love when every 4 years when the Olympics come around, you watch it, and then it just kind of flies under the radar, like you said, but to get out and go to a meet and watch it is a lot of fun. And yeah, it can be a good time, especially if you start to kind of understand some of the benchmarks and you know how impressive some of those times are. Like Sam Gilman running sub-2 in the 800, 152 or whatever he ran is pretty incredible. And then his mile was remarkable too. He was pushing the 4-minute mile mark. So we got some great talent around here.
Absolutely. Now let's go to another sport that in a couple weeks is probably going to take over this entire area, and that's golf.
Yeah, it's we've been talking a lot of golf on this show, and naturally, because we've got so much talent here, but we've talked a lot about Bryson Nimmer. Well, he got outshined by one of his peers this past week, Will Miles, another Hilton Head kid who plays for the Gamecocks. He not only won the Palmetto Invitational up in Aiken, but he won it in record fashion, set the tournament scoring record. The Gamecocks broke the team scoring record, and he just played incredible golf for 3 days. Nimmer actually tied for 7th in that tournament, and then Andrew Orishak for Virginia, another Hilton Head kid, was right there as well, I think tied for 15th. So great showing.
There's some great local talent.
Yeah, the Beaufort County boys showing
awesome.
out. So very cool. Will Miles, a great performance and his first collegiate win. So congrats to him. And he's got the status on the McKenzie Tour that we talked about a couple weeks ago as well. So hopefully some pro golf in his future.
Yeah, for sure. And now, what else? Do we have any high school golf coming up?
Yeah, Hilton Head Prep has had a really impressive season so far. They won a couple of smaller meets, but they also won the Lowcountry Invitational, which was a big 8-team tournament with some of the best teams from here in Charleston. Just edged out Hilton Head Christian Academy. Those two teams, as good as any team in the state at any level, really. They're very strong. JT Herman from Hilton Head Prep is playing lights out golf. He's shooting under par every round. Shot 6 under for 9 holes to win a match the other day at Belfair. So that guy can play.
For sure. And now lastly, let's talk about the biggest golfing event of the year, the Heritage.
Yeah, we're still getting those commitments trickling in. Some of the big names have already been released, and we've talked about them at some length. But you've got a bunch of good names in there. I was just working the other day to compile my list of guys to watch, and it's hard to narrow it down to even the top 10 guys. There's a bunch of great players who have a great chance to win, and some of them we haven't heard their names yet if they're committed, like Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Cantlay, Luke Donald is another one, who's had great success here. So
I think his 5 number 2 finishes for Luke Donald.
Yeah, I suspect we'll hear some of those names in the next couple of weeks, and that field will get even stronger, and it's going to be a great week out at Harbortown Golf Links like it always is.
I think it'd be really cool if we get a South Carolina boy to win it.
Well, we had Wesley Bryan win it 2 years ago. I know you'd like to see Dustin
see
Johnson
DJ
win.
win it.
I'd like
Or
to see,
Horschel.
I'd like to see Kevin Kisner, another
Yeah.
South Carolina guy, get the win. He came really close a couple
In the
years ago
playoff
and
with,
lost in the
Fury.
playoff. But yeah, it'd be great to see him win. So Harbortown always goes crazy for the local boys.
Absolutely, but Justin, that's going to do it for this week. Until next time, it's Justin Jarrett. I'm Carl Prusa. Thanks for watching Lowcountry Sports Report.
Hey, I'm Josh Reddick, World Series champ, and you're watching the County Channel.
This is Larry Rowland. This is a Beaufort County moment. One of the pillars of the 20th century economy of Beaufort County has been the Marine Corps Recruit Depot on Parris Island. Officially opened in 1915, 70% of the Marines who served so heroically in the trenches in World War I were trained on Parris Island. The Marine Corps Recruit Depot on Parris Island is the first exclusively United States Marine Corps installation in the United States. It is, as Eugene Alvarez's book on the subject says, it is the cradle of the United States Marine Corps. During World War II, 241,000 Marines were trained on Parris Island and went off to fight wars, mostly in the Pacific. That's 10 times the population of Beaufort County during World War II. And so Parris Island became a very famous place, and of course, the principal engine of Beaufort County economy in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. But in 1956, a tragedy occurred on Parris Island which sullied the reputation of Parris Island and of the United States Marine Corps. It was called the Ribbon Creek Incident. One of the old Corps drill instructors, Sergeant McEwen, decided that he would take his company of recruits out for a night march as a form of toughening them up and perhaps as a form of punishment. He marched them into the marshes that border Parris Island, and he marched them into the marshes of Ribbon Creek. Neither he nor his recruits understood that many of the creeks on an outgoing tide can be very fast running and very deep. As the men tried to wade the creek with heavy packs on their back, many of them got caught in the current. Several of them struggled and died. This made the newspapers with lurid photographs that found the cover of Life magazine at the time. The Marine Corps was embarrassed. Sergeant McEwen was court-martialed, and the Marine Corps had to change the form of its tough World War II training on Parris Island. But the Ribbon Creek incident brought Beaufort County and Marine Corps Recruit Depot bad publicity for the first time since 1915. This is Larry Rowland. This has been a Beaufort County moment.
To see more Beaufort County moments, go to the Beaufort County Library homepage and click on the Local History tab.